Hello there, it's Gav from IGN, and I'm joined by Mr. Luke Carmali.
Hello, how are you?
What did we have a look at the other day?
We went to Sweden and we got the opportunity to play the new Drop Zone mode in Star Wars Battlefront.
It's alright now.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
I liked it, because I think, I played the Walker Assault thing at E3, and I was pretty rubbish at that.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's massive. And I think, with this, it sort of focuses you a little bit more.
You can't really feel, with Walker Assault, because it's so vast, unless you get the hero power up, it's very difficult to feel your input, you're affecting the outcome of the match that much. In Drop Zone, everything you do matters, whether it's killing a defender who's defending a pod, whether it's capturing one. You really, really feel like you have a purpose, almost.
Well, that's the thing. I think because you've both got, both sides, Rebels and Imperials, you have the same objective, which is to, these pods just land randomly.
Yes.
You jump in front of them. If you're the first one to activate it for your team, you have to defend it then from the other people who are trying to take it off you. So you have to defend it for a certain amount of time. If you manage to defend it, it pops open and you get some cool power-ups. Yeah. And the same thing happens again because another pod goes somewhere else. But you never know where the pods are going to go. They sort of drop randomly. And that was one of the things that I thought was a bit rubbish about it, was that obviously you don't want them to drop. You don't want to know where they are all the time, because then that's rubbish, because people are always going to head to the same places. But at the same time, sometimes I found that they were in a really odd place. Yeah,
no, there were a few occasions where perhaps the drop didn't seem like it had been that well thought out. There was one that was really, really good. So the map we played it on, we only played it on Sullust, which is the new planet that they've shown. And in the center, it's a big lava-y planet with lots of sulfur, but in the centerpiece is an Imperial shuttle that's down for maintenance. And there's kind of a maze made by boxes of containers of mechanical equipment, and one drops near there, so you're kind of working your way through this maze. If you're defending it, you have no idea where you've got to look. You can get really, really close to the pod without the defenders knowing if you're an attacker. So that was a really, really exciting one. So some are great. And then again, there's some... one at the other end of the map is a giant lake with a crashed X-Wing by it. And that's quite exciting as well, because, there's really nowhere to hide. So what you have to do, if you're attacking, you kind of have to gang up and just make a push for it together.
Because that one, there's loads of different ways to get at it. There was there's 2-bit high bits, and then there's some low things as well. They can come around you. So that one was actually quite hard. I found the one that was probably the easiest one was, it's like a little sort of cavern. It's quite small, and the pod goes in the middle of that. So right behind you is the entrance to it, and just up in front of you is like a ledge coming down, but you can see them coming over the ledge, so they kind of get funneled in, and it's really easy to take them out.
It is a bit of Battle of Thermopylae, so it's I don't know, it's a good mode. And for me, what really worked, when I think back about Battlefront, it's these massive epic battles, but they've managed to distill that down into a much smaller scale version of it. And to me, it was quintessential Battlefront. And I mean, obviously the skins and everything helped that a lot, but it does really feel like, you can hear the TIE fighters screaming overhead still. So it is a great mode. And I actually, out of all the modes we played that day, and we played everything that it's going to be in the beta, I think it was probably my favourite mode.
The thing I thought was a bit weird is there's no, of the hero power-ups on it. I thought that would have been quite cool if you got, Luke Skywalker tooling around.
From what, I just thought, they're so powerful.
Maybe it's just not available in the beta, maybe. Yeah. Because, I do kind of wonder, when are they going to, in what modes are different power-ups going to be available? Because it was a bit where... actually, Sullust just looks so amazing. It's basically based on Iceland. And it looks incredible. And I thought, I kind of want to fly around this place. But you can't on Drop Zone.
No, well, I know you can on... I think there was a fighter squadron mode where you can go above it. But it's... I thought
if you could fly on Drop Zone, imagine if you had an X-Wing overhead, and you could really help people. You could basically be the eyes in the sky and tell them how people are coming down. But maybe that's a bit easier.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a really, really good map mode, because also the spawning, they don't do the whole kind of you all spawn on one side if you're Rebel and the other if you're Empire. A lot of people will spawn around, so sometimes you'll spawn and there'll actually be quite a few of the opposing faction on your team, and you're just like, damn, all around you.
The one thing I was thinking, and obviously this is mental, but what is the point? What are we doing here? How is this part? If this is part of Star Wars canon, why is defending pods to get little power-ups? How is that a good thing?
Is it just because the other team want it, so maybe it's more valuable? See, in my head, I was kind of saying that maybe these were evacuation pods from the battle above.
Yeah.
But then obviously no people are leaving them, which is why it might make sense at some stage if you did open it and bloody Luke Skywalker jumps out and you're like, yeah, boy.
See, that makes a bit more sense, because I'm looking at it thinking, I'm pretty sure these troops could be better used somewhere else on some other missions than just going down just to get little trinkets out of a drop pod thing.
Well, I think the idea being it is a land grab. You're both trying to get this piece of land, and then the pods are being dropped down by ships that are helping you from orbit. So it's like your team are being like, they're being dropped down. They're like, you get them, and you're trying to prevent your opponents from getting them.
Because in the co-op mode, in the survival mode, you get pods in that as well. So you get pods every couple of sort of waves that you defeat. But that kind of makes sense, because it's just like, oh, hey, if you manage to defend this, then you're going to have an extra bit of weapon to go up against the next bit. But in this, it's just like, what's the mission here, lads? I need my general to tell me what I'm doing this for. I'm not just blindly going into this thing. But I mean, out of all the modes, it is just definitely one of the best, I reckon.
So definitely one of the best we've played, and you guys can check it out in the beta, which launches later this week.